Hi everybody, I am in the mood to do some baking. I've gone on my walk this morning and I've done my exercises this morning and I'm feeling a little like I need something sweet, not too sweet. So I'm gonna do a lemon pound cake. Now let me show you what I have here that you're going to need. We'll start with a pan. So this is a loaf pan. It's about 8¼ by 5 inches. So this is what you're gonna need. You want to butter the inside, and then you wanna line it with parchment paper so that this is gonna be used to lift the loaf out of the pan. It's just gonna make it that much easier. Here's a micrograter, microplaner for zesting the lemons. And we'll go over that in a little bit. I have a handheld electric mixer, 3 room temperature eggs, 1¾ cups of flour, 1½ cups of powdered sugar, 1 cup of granulated sugar, 1½ teaspoons of baking powder, 6 tablespoons of milk. I have a little lemon juicer, and I have my bowls. So let's get started. I'm going to my friend's house today. They're having a backyard socially or physically distanced, mask wearing little gathering of a small group of people, probably about 6 people, 8 people at most. Anyway, I like to always take something. So instead of taking booze today, which is my favorite thing to take, wine, I'm gonna make this and take it. So let's get started. Let's see, I have my, I have everything written down so that I don't forget stuff, because I forget stuff. So the first thing that you wanna do is, oh, you know what I forgot to show you? You need 2 sticks of butter. So the butter needs to be room temperature. If it's not room temperature, it's not gonna mix with your sugar and your lemon zest and what have you when you go to cream it. So it's got to be room temperature. This has been setting out for probably, over an hour. So yeah, so that's what we're going to do. Oh, I know what I forgot to tell you. Ta-da, oven. Preheat that baby. This is a Wedgwood, a vintage Wedgwood, and the oven is amazing. It's so good. But you want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Get that preheated. That way we can just shove it in and it'll be ready. And you know, once we put the loaf in, it'll be ready in about 45, 55 minutes. All right, so we've got our pan. It's ready. We've got our stuff here. So let's take the 2 lemons and let's zest them, because we want all this delicious zest in our bowl. So let's just do this. Ooh. Smells good. Smells really good. So don't throw this out, because we're going to use this later. There's 1 zested lemon. Now let's do this one. I didn't even change my workout clothes. Oops, I dropped it. I didn't change my workout clothes today because I knew I was going to cook. And I was like, I always get stuff all over my clothes when I cook. So these are already gonna go in the hamper as soon as I, wow. That lemon's trying to get away. I don't know why it doesn't want to participate today, but it's not participating. Okay, so I like to get as much of the zest out as possible. So I will, if I weren't filming, I would stand here and just be like, trying to get it all out. Anywho. Okay, so there's that. Not a whole lot of lemon zest, but there's lemon there. Now we are going to take, our 2 sticks of butter, and we are going to put our sticks of butter that have been room temperature, been out long, yeah, so you can tell it's room temperature. It's a little sticky, which is really good. So we're gonna just take these sticks of butter, throw them in there, and we're also going to throw our sugar. So it's like 1 3/4 cups of sugar. We're gonna throw that in as well. And then we are going to cream, it's called creaming, the butter and the sugar together. Okay, here we go. So now here's my sugar. We're just gonna put it in there. There we go, done with that. And we're gonna take our handheld mixer. I'm gonna try not to break the eggs. They're rolling around on the, and we are just gonna cream this for probably like 5 minutes or so. You know, you wanna get all that butter mixed in. Right now I kind of have it on a low speed because I don't want everything to fly out of the pan or of the bowl. But then I'm gonna put it on high, much higher. We are just gonna cream this together. Butter and sugar, oh. I love baking. So yeah, so I turned it up. So my mixer is all the way up, it's on high. Oh, if you don't have one of these, you need to get one. It's a rubber spatula. A really good friend of mine, Josh, he calls it a slicky pot. I think that's what they call it in Mississippi. I don't know. But I love that he calls it a slicky pot, so that's what I call it now. So you need a slicky pot, because this helps scrape down the bowl. Now I'm just gonna scrape down the sides because I want all the butter to mix. And then I'm gonna go back to high. And just continue to beat it. I might have to lick this. There we go. That is mixed. Oh, I should probably leave these on. Leave these in here. I'm gonna need this later again. So, there is that. Let's taste this. Got a little tart back there. Sweet, butter. You cannot go wrong. Okay. Now what we are going to do is I'm going to scrape the sides down one more time, because now we're going to add our eggs. So the eggs are going to get added in. And we're going to do it one at a time. I have a little bit of a cluster going on over here, so I'm trying to make a little more room. Okay. Ta-da-da. So let's take our eggs at room temperature, and we're gonna do these one at a time. We're just gonna throw them in here and mix them with the butter and egg mixture. the butter and sugar and lemon mixture. So I'm gonna crack this. Don't put any shells in. There's one. Oh, no, that's not a shell. Now we want to beat this. We want to beat this for about 2 minutes on high. Just get it in there. Then we'll add another one after this. We want it really nice and fluffy. Okay, let's add another one. Number 2, down. That one's fully mixed. All right, last one to go. I'm scraping off the butter off my spatula because I like to make sure I get everything mixed and I don't waste. All right, last egg. Mix her in. All right, we're done with that. All right, I forgot something else. Salt. Gotta have some salt. So what we're going to do now is we're gonna take our flour and we're gonna drop it into our bowl, our mixing bowl, separate from our egg, sugar, butter, and zest mix. So we're gonna take that, we're gonna throw in our baking powder, and we also need I think it's a half a teaspoon. Yeah, half a teaspoon of salt. So, I have my half a teaspoon of salt here. Salt always makes the flavors come out. It brings them out so much more. Whether it's a sweet flavor or a savory flavor, it just really enhances the flavor of anything when you're cooking it. So you can't ever live without the salt, but when you put it in yourself, you get to control it yourself. So I'm going to just fork my flour and baking soda and stuff together. I'm gonna fork it so it's all forked together. Ta-da! Now I'm going to take half of the ingredients. I'm going to use my hand, it's clean. Is it? I'm going to take half my ingredients. I'm going to throw it in here. And now I'm going to, on low speed, you don't want to cook it. You don't want to mix this on a high speed because you don't want to overwork the flour, because if you do, if you overwork it, it will form gluten, and gluten is not good. It makes your cake really super tough. So now I'm going to mix that on low for a little bit. Now I'm going to take my 6 tablespoons of milk. I'm going to throw it in here. I'm going to mix this on low once again. just until it's incorporated. Then I'm gonna throw in the rest of my flour mixture into my, okay, so now let's take this, let's throw it in here. So we're just doing it on low, getting everything nice and mixed. Now I'm going to use my scraper, scrape it down, because I want everything to get mixed together. So, okay. I didn't mix it together for very long, but it started getting tough. So I don't know, we'll see. It may be tough. I'm gonna taste this. It's not overly sweet. It's just lemony butter. That's nice. I really like that. We're done. That's it. So now, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna scrape this out into our loaf pan. And then we're gonna smooth it over with our spatula. I mean, honestly, was that very hard at all? Not at all. It's really, I mean, it seems light and fluffy, but when I was mixing it, it got a little, like, stiff. So, now this is a pretty thick, so you just want, because it's really thick, it's not soupy, you really want to get this down into the pan and just kind of smooth out the top. There we go. So we are ready to go in the oven as is. We don't need anything else. I'm just folding down the paper a little bit because I want to make sure all the heat from the oven So we're going to cook this for about 40 to 45 minutes, and we're going to turn it at the halfway point. So I'm going to set my timer for 22 minutes. No, 20 minutes. Then I'll come in and I'll turn it. There we go. I'll be back later. So I cleaned up a little bit. I shaved and showered and all that while this is still cooking. It actually still has 6 minutes to go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do the glaze. And we have to do a couple of things. So remember those lemons that we zested? Well, we have to have these and then squeeze them for their juice. So I have my little squeezer juice cup right here. So I am just going to do that right now so you can watch. Gonna grab my knife. Just have these, super simple. Put them in. Get all the juice out. So what we're gonna do with this, we are going to take half of this lemon juice and we're gonna mix it with the powdered sugar. And the other half of the lemon juice, this is my favorite part, we're going to, once we pull out the loaf and let it cool for about 10 minutes, we are going to poke holes in it, either with a toothpick or something. I don't have toothpicks and I kind of want the holes to be a little bigger than normal. So I'm gonna use a meat thermometer. Because I don't have any toothpicks, so why not just improvise? So then we're gonna take the other half of this lemon juice and we're gonna pour it all along the top of the loaf and give it that extra zing. Ooh, it's gonna be so good. I'm also going to mix with my third lemon. I'm gonna take and zest this and I'm gonna mix it in with my glaze. So, which will pour on after it's completely cooled. It's gotta cool completely and then we'll pour the glaze right over it. It'll be so good. Last one. Okay, all done. I have my little bowl. I'm gonna take all of my powdered sugar, put it into my bowl. Now I'm gonna take about half of this juice. Actually, no, I'm gonna zest. I'm gonna zest first. All right, so there's our lemon zest. It's delicious. Smells good. There's our lemon zest. Ta-da, you can see it in there. Okay, now let's take about half of this juice and let's pour it in there. Yeah. Now let's just, my whisk, here it is. Haha. Now let's just whisk all that together. Okay, if I'm being honest, you're gonna need more. I mean, those lemons were small, so you're probably gonna have to use that third lemon because you kind of want this glaze to be a glaze. So it's gotta have a little bit of a run to it. So I had to add more, but that's good. There we go. So that's actually gonna be fine. Ooh, it's good. Yes. Done and done. And what I can do now is take my other half of my lemon and I can just squeeze this. It's ready. It's ready to be checked. It may not be ready to come out. So I'm going to finish this. Just gonna squeeze the juice out. I'm gonna juice this. Then we'll go over there and we'll take a look at it and see if it's ready to come out. Oh, lemon, okay, so there's, and I don't even need that much lemon juice to pour on top of it, because that would be a whole lot, I think. So now I'm going to I'm gonna get a steak knife, just because, why not, right? This is gonna be my knife that I use to poke in, and if it comes out clean in the center, your loaf is ready. Ooh, wow, this looks, oh yeah, look at that. Can you see that? I don't think it's ready though. Yeah. It still has a jiggle to it. And look at that. So, ooh, it's good. It's light too. I'm very excited. I think it needs like 10 more minutes. So there we go. Okay, so The timer's gone off. Let's see if it's ready now. I have a knife that's dry. It's dry now. Ooh, golden, golden, golden. Look at that. She done. Oh, this is beautiful. Wow, it's so golden. All right, so look at this. Look at this. Oh, it smells so nice. Oh, this is, woo! All right. I am going to let that cool for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to pour the lemon juice over the top. Then I have to let it cool longer and let it cool longer so that I can put the glaze on. Because you don't want to put the glaze on if the cake is warm, because when you put a glaze on a warm cake, it just disappears. It falls off. It will soak in, or it will just run all the way down to the bottom of the sides, and it won't stay on. And you won't have a glaze, and it won't look cool, and you'll just be really unhappy. So don't do it. But that's it. It's over there, resting, getting cool. So don't forget, poke holes. After 10 minutes, poke holes in there on the top. Don't pour it, you don't have to pour this much, but pour the lemon juice. This is probably about 1/4 cup. Did I get that right? Oh, it says it's 50. I didn't even know it had measurements on there. It's about 50. No, it's about 60 milliliters. Is that? Oh, no, it's 1/4 cup on the other side, it says. That's funny. Yeah, it's 1/4 cup. You don't have to put all of it in there. Just do a little judgment test, or, at your discretion is what I'm trying to say. Whatever. And then you pour the glaze on. See the glaze, it moves. See that? So that's going to be great because it will just like harden on, not harden, but it'll kind of get a little hard on the top. There'll be a little tiny crust that will form if the cake is completely cool. So don't forget that. Okay, so I just drizzled the glaze all over the top. Look at that. Maybe I put too much on because it pooled so much, but I don't care, it looks good. There you go. That's the end result. Enjoy.